These are some movements that you can do at your desk. So, you've been working for a while and you're feeling kind of like, oof, I need to shift things up. So these are some things you could do. So, the focus of this is going to be the spine, the shoulders, the hips, and then creating space for the breath. So, one thing that I feel that happens when I've been sitting for a long time working is I kind of have started to hunch and everything's kind of crunched in, right? My breath isn't flowing deep into the belly, my rib cage is kind of contracted. So, what we're really trying to do is open that up and create space for the breath. So, you're going to get more oxygen to the brain, right? That's like sometimes that's even better than caffeine. Seriously. So, we'll start by just doing a few subtle movements for the spine. So, you can arch the spine, so you're opening up the heart and then round the spine. So it helps to put your hands on your knees so you're kind of have a space to anchor from. And then just play around with that movement. So arching and rounding the spine. You can think of starting from the bottom and kind of letting that movement roll up to the top. And then from the top to the bottom. So kind of leading with the hips and then leading with the neck. And it helps also to marry the movement with the breath. So you're inhaling as you arch and exhaling as you round. And then another movement for the spine is to circle your rib cage around your hips in one direction and then the other. So it looks kind of silly, but you're just articulating the spine in a circle. So reaching the rib cage forward to the right, back to the left, forward. And again, you can marry this movement with the breath. So as you're moving forward, you're inhaling. As you start to move back, you're exhaling. And then you're going to go the other way. Again, inhaling as you come forward, exhaling as you go back. Great. And then we also want to release the shoulders. So we've done some of the spine movement, but when we do the shoulders, we'll also get the side to side movement. So the focus on the spine has been, arching forward and back, going round and round. Now we'll add in side to side. So I like to use a belt for this, and it doesn't have to be this long because it's only going to be kind of a comfortable stretch out in front, maybe just like a little wider than the hips. And you're going to lift that up. Make sure your feet are nice and grounded. Inhale, reach up high. And then exhale over to the right. And then make sure to breathe into the side body here. Take a moment, opening up all of those muscles between the bones and the rib cage. And then inhaling back to center. Reaching up again and exhale over to the left. And again, breathing into the side body. Opening up the rib cage there, creating space for the breath. Inhale back up to center. And then you can kind of play with this. So you might lengthen the belt. And you can be as creative as you want with this. Just kind of twisting side to side. Everybody's body is a little different. So there might be a position you find that it's like, oh yeah, that's, really getting into that space between my shoulder blades. And then another, so we've got twisting, we've got side to side. And then another nice thing is just inhaling the belt up and then letting it come behind. So you're opening up through the chest. You might lengthen the belt and kind of bringing it over your head and back again. Maybe this time when you go back, you notice you have a little more space. It's a little easier. You can play with the length of the belt. So if you've had it wider, then try it a little shorter. And you can also bring in some twisting there. So there's really all kinds of different ways that you can use the belt to release the shoulders. So then we'll look at the hips. So hopefully you have a chair that does not have wheels so that you're stable, but maybe you can lock it if you have wheels. And you're gonna stand next to your chair. So my right foot is pointing forward, and I'm gonna step up on to the seat of my chair and open the left leg out. So even just that right now, I'm getting a release in my hip here, but we can also add in placing the left arm on the thigh and then reaching the arm over. So again, opening up through the rib cage, but we're also getting a nice release in the thigh there. You can play around with this. Maybe you're too close, so you could kind of hop away. That might help you to feel the stretch a little more. And then another stretch for this is to place your right hand on the knee and twist. So inhale to lengthen and exhale to release. So you're getting, I'm feeling a nice stretch through the muscles behind my shoulder blade there. You're also getting a twist in the spine. So again, creating space for the breath. And the spine just loves to be twisted, wringing out tension there. So then we can also do a hamstring stretch by placing a foot on the seat of the chair and then just leaning forward. And you can always just kind of bring the hands there, help release tension. Give it a little rub. Good. And then we'll do the other side. So walk over to the other side of the chair. So the left leg is pointing forward, kind of in the same direction as the chair. And then you're bringing the right foot onto the chair. Again, play around with how far apart your stance is. So you're getting a stretch, opening through the hips. And then you bring your right elbow down onto the thigh and open up to the side. Breathing into the side body again. Opening up all those muscles in between the ribs. And then we'll release that stretch. And again, you can do the twist. So you may want to have both feet pointing in the same direction. So the left hand is on the right knee. The right hand comes behind you at the hips. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist. Bringing out the spine in the other direction. And then we'll do the hamstring. So grounding through that heel and lengthen the spine and folding forward from the hips. We're not just kind of collapsing. That's not going to be quite as effective. It helps to flex the right foot as well. And then again, you can give that muscle a little release. Good. Then the psoas muscle is the muscle that usually gets pretty tense, doing a lot of sitting. So for this, you can use your chair to help you balance, but we're just gonna have a front foot forward, and at the back foot is gonna be the hip that you're focusing on. So we're just trying to get a little stretch. It's this front hip. And I'll do it on the other side as well. So you've got both feet railroad tracks. And if you bend into that front knee, you should be feeling release here in that front hip. And you can use your chair to help you balance. Good. Then we're also going to do something for the outer hip. So you'll be seated, bring your right foot just below your knee, coming into the figure 4 position. And then if you inhale, lengthen the spine. You should be feeling kind of a release in this outer hip. And you can fold a little forward if that helps. If you need a little more stretch there. And I like to flex my right foot. This helps to protect the knee. Be sure to be gentle here. There's a lot of tension in the hips. Hopefully this is comfortable for your knee. And then coming on to the other side. If there is any pain in the knee, I don't recommend this pose. You could always come out of it a little and see if you can still have a stretch without discomfort. You stay more upright. So using the breath to release tension. Kind of think of gathering the tension as I inhale and then releasing it as I exhale. Good. So those are all of my stretches using a chair. The other thing I like to do is have a tennis ball somewhere where I can grab it, and you can roll out the feet. So that can really feel good and energizing. So in any way that feels good to you, you can push forward and back, getting to the heel, getting into the heart of your foot, the arch. And circles feel really good in one direction and in the other. And then you want to make sure you do both feet, forward and back, circles, really working into the arch of your foot. And then the other thing I like to use the tennis ball for is up against a wall, working into behind the shoulder blades or on the hips. So it can look a little silly, but you're kind of leaning in, and you do get a little workout in the thighs. You can always play around. Okay, maybe that was a little too low to start out with. So I'm right now kind of digging it into behind my shoulder blades. So I'm kind of rocking side to side and moving up and down. This can be pretty intense. Like, I have a lot of knots behind my shoulder blades. I just always do. So I kind of focus on those with ball, and then do the other side. It's nice to put a little music on and kind of move to the music. So if you have your favorite song, something that makes you happy, that can help. So both shoulder blades I like to do, and then you can also use it, um, and right right here, getting into the glutes. You can even come a little to the side, so you're getting into the outer hip as well. Again, you look a little silly maybe. Hopefully nobody's watching. And do it. So now I'm working on the other side now. It's just kind of a little self massage. And hopefully that releases some tension. So that is my sequence for working at your desk.